This is far too bright. I look like I died. I'm gonna sneeze. And it's away. Hey everybody and welcome back to my channel. Yes, you probably guessed it from the title. Today's video is a story time and I am going to be telling you about that one time my homophobic high school bully turned out to be gay. So if you want to hear about it, then keep on watching. Okay, so first things first, as Iggy would say, I just want to say that I don't really like the word bully. I just kind of feel, I said that too late, but I just kind of feel like it makes me sound like a victim, so I'm kind of not going to use that word. Moving on. For those of you that follow me on social media, you'll know that this year has been pretty difficult, and if you haven't watched my videos, then definitely go and watch them. The last one, the one about the old man makeup and domestic abuse, is me just talking a little bit about my life and opening up, and there's going to be so many more videos coming soon, so stay tuned. But for me, this year has been filled with nightmares, which isn't really anything new, but when I had this specific nightmare that I'm about to tell you guys about, it kind of got me thinking. Now, nightmares and dreams are usually your subconscious mind trying to tell you something, so when I had this one, I was kind of confused. This was about someone from a past that I really thought I had dealt with. Like, I thought I had been through everything that I had to go through in order to let go of my past, and in order for you guys to understand what I'm talking about, I'm going to have to explain a little bit more. But first, before I do that, this dream did not consist of what I'm about to tell you. It just consisted of this person, so it was literally just their face. It was one of those dreams where I remembered what it was about when I woke up, but completely forgot as the day went on. So all I really know is that I seen this person's face, but it was enough to know that there was a reason I was seeing it. During school, I was picked on. I was always picked on by other people. Back in primary school, when you were going up to the high school, you were told to choose 2 people from your class that you could have in your high school class. So for me, I chose my 2 friends. It was going to be great, we were all going to be in the same class, we were going to make new friends and grow with each other. But that didn't really happen. 1 month before I left my primary school to go into the high school, 2 new kids joined, which was weird to join like a month before, but they did anyway. So when we chose all our friends that we wanted to have in our high school class, I got the 2 new people, which obviously wasn't my choice. So when we went to the high school, those 2 stuck together, they made friends with everybody else, I was by myself, and everybody had their friends. But basically, I am a really friendly person. I love making new friends with people, and I love getting to know people, so I was always up for making friends. I would go and introduce myself to people and start a conversation, but nobody was really wanting to chat. It was strange because I'd never been in a situation like this before where people were purposely being mean, so this was a whole new experience for me. As time went on, I kind of realised that these people that I was spending all of this time with, not through choice but forced, they weren't the nicest of people. They were purposely trying to ostracize me from everybody else and pick on me for being gay. Now, at the time, I was only 11 years old, so I had no idea what gay even meant. I never knew that I was gay, which I'm gay now, but I never knew at the time. That was something that I should have been able to go and explore to see if I was gay or not by myself without anybody else kind of butting in and telling me how it was. Fast forward a few years later, I had been programmed to hide all these feelings and I got really, really good at it. Now, one time I remember specifically walking through my school and I caught eyes with this boy and I kind of had a feeling that I'd never really had before, and it's hard to explain, but it kind of felt like butterflies all at once, mixed with I'm on a roller coaster, mixed with happiness. And little did I know that was probably my first crush. He was really different from me. He always had a big group of friends and was kind of popular, and I was really someone who was really not like that. During break time and lunchtime, I was actually someone who, this is pretty sad, but I actually ate lunch in a cupboard at school, a closet. How ironic, I was eating lunch in a closet and I really was in the closet. It's kind of like that scene from Mean Girls where Katie is eating her lunch in the bathroom. That was actually me. That was my real life. I was having lunch in a cupboard by myself. Sometimes this girl would join me, but to be fair, and this isn't my words, she was a loner, so she kind of wanted to be alone. I was alone, so we kind of sat alone together, if that makes any sense. We would just watch movies and eat sweets and just chill, and everybody else would be down in the cafeteria, which was somewhere I didn't really like going because that's where everybody who was being mean to me would sit. They would be all with their bigger group of friends because each class would meet up and the gang would get bigger. I didn't really like that feeling of being uncomfortable while I was trying to eat and knowing that people behind me were laughing at me or throwing things like that. That wasn't for me. It was just a terrible situation to be in, so I chose to be by myself. But this one day, my nightmare came true. The closet was locked and none of the teachers were available to open it, so I had to go downstairs and socialise, which was not a good experience. Basically, in my canteen, you would come down a giant set of stairs. It would be a big open floor plan, like the whole cafeteria would be open planned. It was huge. It was all made of like glass walls everywhere. It was huge. So the layout of this meant that in order to get to the seating area, you had to walk past the part where everybody would stand. Now the place where people would stand was kind of like, they're just like too cool to sit because there just wasn't a table big enough for their group of friends, or they had just went out for lunch and came back and just stood until the bell would ring. So for me, I really dreaded this part because I just kind of felt like everybody looked at you. It was just an uncomfortable feeling. So this one time I was walking through all of this kind of group of people and I see this guy and he's like way over there with like his group of friends, but I have to walk that direction in order to get to the seats. So we walk past him and I'm kind of like, as I'm approaching him, my feelings are kind of like, oh my god, I'm like excited. He's like really good looking and I kind of catch like a glimpse of him and he looks at me and I just kind of and look the other way. Now as I'm approaching him, he starts to come towards me and I'm kind of like, oh my god, what's happening? You know, I'm meant to be feeling excited, I'm meant to be feeling happy, as someone would if their crush was coming towards them. Like, how do I look? How do I act? I'm forgetting how to act. Excitement. And that was how I was feeling. So he came up to me and he goes to say something and I'm just kind of like, and he screams in my face, "You're gay," for the whole cafeteria to hear. Now this was absolutely mortifying because this wasn't just coming from someone who I didn't really care about their opinion. This was coming from someone that I kind of had secret feelings for, so it was like an extra double blow to me. And I remember just freezing and feeling so embarrassed. This was a situation that made me further ostracised from everybody else. I just kind of felt like I had no connection with anybody and I never really had anybody around me in my life apart from my family, but obviously they weren't at school. But I never had any friends that were around me to say so, or so what if he's gay, like, to, you know, stand up for me. Like, I never really had anybody to do that, nor could I do it myself, so I never really expected anybody else to do it. But the way he done it was just kind of obviously homophobic, but saying it in a way that made me feel lower than low. Like, I remember just walking away from that situation and going and waiting outside my next class and just feeling like I couldn't cry in that moment, but I would wait till I was home, which was actually something I'd done often. I would just wait till I was home to cry because everybody would pick on me that day, and that was just kind of the way that I would deal with things. This situation also led me to believe that if I did come out as gay, it would actually give them ammo to fire at me, because I mean, this was them attacking me for not being gay, for assuming I'm gay, for randomly walking, just any chance that they could get to attack me. So if I did come out as gay, everything was going to get worse. That was how I seen things. Fast forward to about 4th or 5th year. At this point I'm probably about 16, 17, and during 4th and 5th year, that is when you can choose your classes. But this year they decided to do something different. They were going to merge the years together. So I was in 5th year and he was in 4th year. He was a year younger than me, and it turns out that he is in one of my classes. So when I find out that he's in one of my classes, I don't really look at him the same as I did when I was younger, because it was a traumatic experience. It kind of gave me like an insight to his personality. I didn't really want to befriend someone like that or have feelings for someone like that. I knew that I was better than to behave like that, nor would I ever attack someone for that, so I didn't want to be in the company of anybody like that. So during English, I would catch him kind of look over at me and I would look at him, but he would give me like bad eyes, and when I'm explaining that, I kind of mean like I'm just gonna have to like show you guys, but it doesn't matter what I would do, whether I would laugh or whether I'd be writing. Even if I catched a glimpse of him looking at me, he would kind of just like go like that and like kind of draw his eyes away from me. Or if I would laugh or have a joke with someone, he would whisper to someone beside him and they would all look over, and I knew it was about me. It was very prominent that it was about me. It was on purpose to make sure that I knew it was about me. Now obviously most of us are adults. I know I have a younger audience listening, and I would hope that none of you guys behave like that. I totally doubt it, but it is very immature, and obviously that would never happen in this day and age, and if it did, then I would probably handle it a little bit differently. If someone was laughing at me from across the room or trying to make me feel uncomfortable, I'd probably just be like, X gon' give it to you. Fuck, wait for you to get it. Now as time would go on, I would kind of just start to feel really uncomfortable, and I mean, this was 5 years at this school. At this point I had really closed in on myself, and really, really got good at hiding who I was. So I never ever let myself dive into how I felt musically, if I, what kind of music like I like to listen to. I never let myself dress the way I wanted to. I didn't ever wear makeup. I didn't dye my hair. I didn't do anything. But when I left school, everything changed. Now, on my last day of school, I was like, hasta la vista, bitches. After that last exam, I was like, I ain't coming back. I never went to prom. I never went to graduation. I never went to any after parties. I was done. I had finished 6 years there. See you later. Now, way back then, I actually looked a little bit different. I used to look totally different. So this is what I looked like. I'm putting it on the screen right now. I looked a lot different. When I left school, I cut my hair. I got braces and fixed my teeth, and I just started taking more care of myself and feeling happier. So I know people are going to think, oh my god, did you have surgery? No. I've had that asked before. No. This is just all happiness. And obviously the rest is history. I fell in love with makeup, began YouTube, and I live happily ever after. But that was the last I'd ever seen of that boy at school. I'd never seen him again. But basically after this dream, I knew that I had to go and kind of investigate why I was feeling this way. Investigate, that seems so serious. But I knew I had to kind of look into why I was feeling this way. I knew if I looked him up on social media and I seen his face, I could just tell myself, I'm not scared of you. I don't feel anything. And that's exactly what I done. So I look him up on Twitter and I see his face, and I did kind of have like a kind of heartbeat, slightly because he is really good looking, and obviously like I am only male. So I did have a little bit of a feeling there, but it was kind of like I'd grown so much since then that I don't feel that way anymore. Like it was like a split second and then it was gone. And then the other feeling was me saying to myself, I came here with the intention of saying, I'm not scared of you. I can look at you right now and I don't feel anything. And that's exactly what I actually done. Like I didn't feel anything. I didn't expect to actually feel that. I think at some point I was just convincing myself, but I didn't really care. Like as soon as I seen him, I was just like, I have no feelings. Like I don't feel anything. I'm not scared. I'm not panicked. Why did I have that dream? So while I'm on his timeline, I just start scrolling a little bit and I get down a little bit further. Now at this point, my gaydar is going off and I don't really know why. Like, I don't know why this is happening, but it's wrong sometimes, but it's never usually wrong. It's usually got like an inkling. So I scroll a little bit further and I come across this tweet right here. I'm going to put it on the screen and there's no name, so you can't sue me if you see this video. I know the rules. I can't really remember off by heart what the tweet was about, but it was something like, it's 2019, someone just shouted at me in Glasgow for being gay or something like that. It was something along those lines. Obviously you guys can see, but I can't read it. I can't read it. It's like right there. I can't read it. So obviously when I see this tweet, I'm like, shocked. He's gay. He's gay. He's gay. Turns out, he's gay. He's gay. He's gay. So I've never seen it coming, but he's gay. But at this point, you guys are probably like, well, haha. He deserved that. So many people would say that. My family did say that. He deserves that. That's karma coming to him. He done that to you, and now it's happening to him. Now he knows how it feels. But for me, I kind of had like a different reaction to it. It kind of upset me, and I was actually, I wouldn't say I was like crying, but I was quite emotional. I was nearly crying, and it was because for the first time I realised so much. One being that he now realised how I felt at that time that he done it to me. Now, way back then I was like, now listen, it's 2013, can't I be who I am, and why are people shouting at me? So it's just the exact same as him saying it's 2019, why are people shouting at him? But it was upsetting realising that he now knew how I felt, because it was degrading, it was humiliating, it was embarrassing, dehumanised. It made me feel like crap, and he now knew what that felt like, which is a terrible feeling. I don't want anybody to experience that, so I am genuinely so sorry that he had to experience that feeling. Second being that it kind of started to click all the way back then. He was gay. We were just handling it both differently. My way of handling it, as I've already said, is I'm going to keep it safe. I am going to have a wife, and I'm going to have children, and I'm going to have a white picket fence, and I'm going to have everything that so many people dream of, but I'm going to be unhappy. I'm going to take my secret to the grave. Now, obviously that plan, in my child's mind, seemed great. It didn't seem ideal, but it was going to keep me safe. It meant that nobody would hurt me. But it obviously wasn't a sustainable plan, because it did not last forever, because hello, I'm gay. Now he handled it a little bit differently from me, because he obviously was gay way back then, but if you remember me talking about my gaydar, it's never off. and obviously neither was his. He obviously seen something in me that he's seen in himself, didn't like it, was confused, and chose to attack. He dealt with his in a way that was based from anger. He had those feelings, and the way it came out was angry. He had seen me, he didn't like what he's seen because he didn't want to accept who he was, and as much as that might sound shocking to people that are hearing that for the first time, that's actually quite a common way of handling you being gay to begin with. Now he obviously thought, listen, that's the way that people treat Declan, I'm scared of that. If I just join in with the rest of the crowd, then nobody's going to suspect that I'm gay and I'll be okay. So we were just both trying to, in different ways, protect ourselves. Now when I heard this news, I was kind of like, oh my god, because everything started to make sense. I was like, that's why I had that dream. I wasn't scared of him, I just had to find this out about him in order to let go of a part of the past. So I was actually really happy because it just goes to show that everything happens for a reason. Like, for me personally, I don't have any hard feelings. I never really did, but obviously it was something that was playing at the back of my mind that still hurt me somewhere, and now I can let go of that and I can feel happy for him. I know some people are going to be like, Declan, he bullied you, he was nasty to you, he made your life pretty crappy for a while, but honestly I think that forgiveness is the way to move forward, and in order to forgive people, it's one of the hardest things in the world, but in order to forgive them you have to try and understand them, and for me this was what this was. This dream was helping me to forgive someone and help understand. Now forgiving for me means let's move from right now onward. I don't want to live in the past, don't want to live in the future, I want to live right now, and that's how I handle things. I just want to say I did follow this person to tell them that they're going to be on YouTube, but they did not follow back, and I didn't send a message because I kind of got the feeling like they knew I followed them if they didn't want to follow back, and I didn't want to be ignored, so surprise, you're on YouTube. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this story time. I'm definitely going to be doing more story times on my channel because I know for a fact that this could help someone. So if you did enjoy this video, then please give it a thumbs up because it helps it be seen and more people will find it and our little family will get bigger. Which reminds me, if you haven't subscribed, then subscribe. I obviously make amazing content, like hello. And I will hopefully see you guys in my next video. Bye.
I just wanna stay young, but I wonder what it's like to die. I don't wanna go home, and she just wanna